8 obelisks, measured across centuries, cluster near 117 degrees, a concentrated signal where randomness should prevail.
Welcome to Stargate Codex. I am Dr. Elias Thorn, lead historian and decoder of ancient systems. In each episode, we bypass standard chronological textbooks to dissect preserved records, architectural constants, and structural anomalies left by history's most guarded initiatory networks. Prepare to decode the pattern.
That 117-degree cluster is our starting fact. It is measurable, repeatable, and recorded in multiple primary sources. Notice the scale. I refer to obelisks documented in situ, quarry templates, foundation cuts, and medieval relocation registers.
Across 8 major examples, the azimuths concentrate between 114.0 degrees and 118.4 degrees. The Lateran obelisk, in Roman relocation ledgers and resurveyed in 1892, records 117.6 degrees in Vatican cartularium plates. The cross-section proportional constant repeatedly centers near 1 to 3.618 plus 0.2 when full sections are preserved. These are not impressions. They are numbers that demand explanation.
My method is strict. Primary inscriptions first, metrology second, then cross-referencing of celestial registers. Replication is essential. I will read inscriptions, translate measurement rubrics, and map those notations to Babylonian and Egyptian star lists so every inferential step can be checked.
Begin with Heliopolis. The dedicatory line, catalogued as HEP14B, reads in edited transliteration. Raised in the hour of the risings of Sopdet, aligned to the pillar of the east at 3 cubits and 6 fingers over the mark.
3 cubits and 6 fingers. That phrase is metrically precise. Convert to the Old Kingdom Royal Cubit Standard, 52.4 centimeters, and the offset resolves into an operational dimension used in Aswan quarry templates. Notice the chain. Inscription to measured quarry mark to erected monument. At Karnak, foundation cuts labeled KAR03A preserve paired punch marks matching that ratio. The physical spacing on mortises corresponds to the same cross-section prescription. This is independent corroboration. Inscription language and construction practice share a metrological rubric.
Now shift to Mesopotamia. MUL.APIN, especially the transmission preserved in tablet BM 45123, records heliacal rising windows for eastern pillar stars. When those dates are corrected for axial precession, they produce angular bearings that align with the azimuth cluster we measure on the stones. Consider the implication. The same celestial bearings appear in 2 corpora separated by distance and time when precession is accounted for. Put plainly, Babylonian horary logs provide calibrated star hours. Egyptian obelisk rubrics provide measured stone offsets. Together, they form a protocol for encoding a precessional marker into a portable monument. A close textual match strengthens this link. In Heliopolitan and Karnak inscriptions, a metrological glyph recurs, quarter-degree marks transcribed alongside a sign I render as the register sign. The same operational notation appears in Babylonian marginalia as tupu nemeku entries, which denote fixed observational offsets. This is not metaphor. It is an operational rubric.
Follow the stones forward in time. Alexandrian catalog fragments include relocation entries that preserve dimensional rubrics. Re-erect according to the original mark and star hour. Papal cartularies, notably Cartulia Vaticanae 27.8 and 34.1, contain monastic marginalia recording azimuth and base footprints when obelisks were repurposed in medieval plazas.
Those medieval notes function as shorthand manuals.
Clerics who copied relocation notations preserved the metrology even as their liturgical language changed. The measurement rubric survived transmission through practical reuse.
Institutional carriers amplified that survival. Temple schools kept templates. Initiatory colleges conserved exemplar fragments. In the 17th century, a Rosicrucian roll, catalogued as RCM-17, lists obelisk proportions adjacent to ritual timings, described as the hour of the pillar's sighting. Select lodge inventories include rubrics for re-erecting portable monuments as calibration standards. These are functioning protocols, not mere symbolism.
Assemble the data, and the pattern is clear. 3 registers are encoded in obelisks: the metrical constant in cross-section proportions, a calibrated azimuth tied to a precessional celestial marker, and inscription rubrics linking stone marks to calendrical notation. Together, they create a portable celestial codex readable by trained initiates.
Why does this matter? Because the register performs 2 functions at once. It is a ritual timekeeper, a calibrated anchor for liturgical and agricultural calendars. It is also a silent signaling network. Reposition a calibrated obelisk in a civic forum, and distant, trained readers can re-anchor their ritual calendars and interpret the move as an intentional communique. The move itself becomes a metered message.
This pattern repeats from the Old Kingdom through late antiquity and into early modern lodge practice. It is a systemic mechanism for maintaining elite temporal authority across shifting regimes. The obelisk's portability is an asset. It transports a shared timekeeping protocol wherever the elite networks operate.
A concise evidentiary chain. Azimuth clusters between 114.0 degrees and 118.4 degrees. The Lateran obelisk at 117.6 degrees per Vatican plates. Recurring height-base ratio near 1 to 3.618 plus or minus 0.02 across preserved cross-sections. Quarry templates and foundation cuts bearing matching punch marks. Corroborative celestial bearings in MUL.APIN and Babylonian horary entries after precessional correction. Explicit metrological rubrics in Alexandrian and papal registers, and ritual preservation of the metrological key in RCM-17 and selective lodge inventories.
Limitations and cautions. Do not conflate later relocation azimuths with original erection contexts without quarry and foundation confirmation. Overinterpretation invites speculative chronology shifts. I have flagged uncertain cases in the dossier and restricted claims to measurable metrics where the primary evidence supports them.
The archive never lies. The text remains. We have traced an operational protocol from carved rubric to star list to institutional transmission and shown how sacred geometry functions as a durable codex for elite timekeeping and signaling. That is the synthesis within Skye Alden's Geometry of Power. For the fully annotated dossier, plates, transliterations, and cross-references, consult stargatecodex.org/research. Begin with indices HEP14B, KAR03A, BM45123, Cartulae Vaticanae 27.8, and RCM17 to verify measurements and primary citations. Thank you for listening to Stargate Codex. The archive never lies. The text remains.